little buns, it is Steph. Welcome back to my home. It is time for a Q&A. I've already recorded this video, but it ended up being really weird because I was in LA, I was at an Airbnb, I didn't have my lights, and just the way that it looked was terrible. So I'm re-recording it, but don't fret, I forgot all of my answers. So these are just gonna be just as honest as the original ones were. Let's get right into it. Well, let's not actually. I just want to let you guys know, normally I get my questions on Instagram for Q&As. This one was from quite a while ago. I don't remember when I asked for these questions, but if you ever want to ask questions for future Q&As, just keep an eye on my Instagram and you will see me post asking for questions once in a while, and that's where that happens, okay? So, first question from Instagram user, Fairy Dust. What keeps you going when everything just wants you to stop? So it depends on what part of my life we're talking about here. If we're talking about my work, like YouTube and live streaming and stuff, which honestly, let's be very clear, I am not always 100% great at. I'm not always 100% on top of the ball, you know what I mean? What keeps me going when I just want to stop is you guys, to be very, very honest. And I don't think that's a surprise, really. I do this because I love you and I want to make things for you and I want to know what's up, you know, and I want to help you through your things, just like you help me through my things. And that is the main thing that keeps me going. Instagram user, Don't Eat Mercury. Do you have recommendations for swimming while trans? So I can't speak for trans men or trans masculine experiences, but for myself, I like to wear a cover, kind of. So this is actually a bathing suit top I'm wearing right now, right here. And what I like to do to make myself feel more comfortable is wear like a cover like this. This is actually some kind of cute ass kimono situation. I don't think it's a legit kimono. It's not really how this works. But I like to wear a cover over my bathing suit because honestly, I don't really trust a tuck to stay in place. That's just my thing. And if I'm in the water, nobody's really gonna be able to tell if something shimmies out of the way, you know what I mean? But then that way, when I get out of the water, I can just put the thing right back on. And I actually have a net one. It's kind of like a meshy netty material. It's really, really big netting. And I can wear that right in the water. It stretches a lot, but it doesn't look unusual, and it has a free movement. You know, there's lots of things you can do to make swimming more comfortable and easier for your mind, like, you know, to calm yourself down. But whatever you do, just make sure you're being careful and you're not risking your physical health, because that's not good either. You know what I mean? Instagram user, Danny Walu Chow. You've mentioned before how you hate your birth name. Would you find it difficult to be friends with someone with that name? No, I don't hate the name straight up. I hate the name when it's associated with me. It's not even like I hate that, you know, I'm mad at my parents for naming me that. It's not that kind of hate. It's more like when I hear that associated with me, it gives me a bad feeling. My hairdresser has the same name and I have no trouble going to him. And I'm not mad at him all the time. So yes, I can be friends with somebody with my birth name. Instagram user, SPMCdill. Spumkdill. SP McDill? Spumkdill? I don't know. You've made videos before about feminizing your speaking voice. Did you have a difficulty with your singing voice, or do they just go hand in hand? So I don't really know about my singing voice. I actually learned how to train my speaking voice through singing lessons when I was in high school. I took them for about 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and I was not bad. I was pretty good. I haven't taken them for years, unfortunately, so I may have rusted up quite a bit. I may be just bad at this point. I don't know. But I know the knowledge that I got with singing helped me train my talking voice, but I haven't really tried to train my singing voice into a more feminine kind of thing. Let me see if I can swing something for you. Ooh, can I make it awkward? No, let's not make it awkward. I was gonna sing something really sexy. Let's not do that. I'm your biggest fan, I'll follow you until you love me. Papa, paparazzi, baby, there's no other superstar, you know that. I want pancakes, bitch. That's what I want. I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you tell? Can you tell? Yes. Instagram user, Fabi Gona, were you popular in high school? Girl. No, I was the least popular person in high school. What's happening with my hair? I was not popular. I was the weird kid. I was the only gay in the village. At the time, I was a gay. But like, I felt very isolated. I had friends. I absolutely had friends, but I was not popular. And I feel like now, at this point, maybe in a big city somewhere, a trans kid could possibly be a popular person in high school. But that is unfathomable to me when I compare it to my high school experience. It is not possible. So I really hope somebody else is having a better experience than I did. I did have friends, I had great friends, and the whole thing was not terrible, but I was treated like shit by most people, so no, I was not popular. I had a reputation, it just wasn't a good one. Instagram user, Madison Langley McConnell, do you want more tattoos? If so, what and where? So the only tattoo I have right now is my horde symbol on the back of my neck. Can y'all see that? Is it visible? I don't know. I don't know if it's visible. I would love several more tattoos. I have a few in mind that I really want. One of them is, if you play Skyrim, you know, Fusroda, the shout. There's runes that correspond to every word in the shouts of dragon language from Skyrim, and I really want the runes for Fusroda on my body because I think it means something like power, like strength and force, or something like motivating, kind of. God, I don't know though, I spent probably like 400 or 500 hours in Skyrim. It's a really big escape for me when I'm having a lot of anxiety. When I disconnect from the world, I like to play that game for an unreasonable amount of time, and it kind of brings me back to Earth, which is bizarre because it's not Earth. But I would love that as a tattoo, anywhere on my body, really. Instagram user TitusFFX, what are the do's and do nots of a relationship? So I have not been in a relationship in a very long time, but I would say if you can't trust your partner, you are off to a bad start. So I would say, I don't know about do's and do nots, but I do know about must-haves, okay? And must-haves are trust, interest, and I would say those are the must-haves, okay? It's trust and interest. You have to trust them, you have to be interested. If you are bored and apathetic in your relationship, it's gonna fall apart pretty quickly. Instagram user, Courtney MBE. Do you want to have kids one day? Yes, I think I was genetically and environmentally engineered to be a mother, and I'm not joking. My mom adopted 4 kids when she was, I don't know, like 21 or something. She was my age or younger. And before that, she was taking care of kids like as a daycare kind of in her house since she was 12. She was babysitting from 12 until she was an adult, and then she adopted 4 kids when she was a kid, and then she had me and my brother, and then we were a foster family after that for like 18 years. So there were kids in my life so much, and my mother has been a mother since she was a kid. Not a biological mother, but she's been taking care of kids for so long, and that was my kind of childhood too, because I would help her take care of them. It wasn't the same kind of reasons, but it has made me very kind of reliant upon the presence of children in my life, and it's kind of frustrating because I haven't really had the opportunity to take care of any kids for a long time. But I'm thinking of maybe volunteering or something with, I don't know, maybe LGBT kids in Toronto. There's gotta be something that I can do because I need kids in my life, and there are none right now. But I do want to be a mother, yes. I want at least 2 kids, I think. I don't know. I'm 21, let me live. But I definitely want children. Instagram user, Jane K. Lewis. How do you interact so non-awkwardly and welcoming with groups of strangers? Little buns are kind of not strangers though. Is this something that came very natural to you, or did you have to learn the skill? So my mother always says she's a social chameleon. She's not like, she doesn't seek out social interaction, but she can kind of adapt to any social situation. And I feel like I have that pretty well. It kind of clashes with my social anxiety sometimes, but that doesn't flare up all the time. That flares up when I feel like unattractive or unwanted. But when I'm interacting with you guys, the viewers at like meet and greets or whatever, you don't make me feel that way. So I usually have no trouble feeling totally confident and comfortable. I remember the first time I did a meetup, I was shaking so much that like I couldn't stop my legs from shaking. I was like vibrating. It was a thing. It was funny in hindsight, but at the time I was so nervous. So it didn't come naturally to me really, but it's something that as I grow up and as I have more experiences, becomes a lot easier for me to do. Does that make sense? Instagram user Emily Hovland or Hovland. How has your personal style changed in the last year? I've noticed it kind of changing. Oh my God, you can say that again and again and again and again. I'm gonna flash some videos from the past 12 months across the screen, and you can see how much I have changed in the past year. The thing is, when you start transitioning, you have to kind of make up for all of those years of choosing your own clothes as that gender. Like as a woman, I had to make up for pretty much age, I don't know what, 13 to 19. I had to figure all that out in a very short span of time. So when I first started, I was really confused. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to dress. I didn't even know how to brush my hair, really. I'm at a place now where I really love just that. I don't know, I just have an instinctual kind of thing when I put clothes on now, and I know what I like. For a long time, I was really trying to find out, you know, what made me feel good. And I would try to create a very specific image, but it would just end up looking and feeling awkward. But now I feel like I'm in a place where I can wear clothes and they don't wear me anymore. And I think that's kind of a confidence thing, because anybody, any clothing can look amazing. It depends on how the person wearing it is feeling, and that's my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a fashion journalist. I'm not a fashion model or whatever, but that's how I feel. I feel like if you feel good in the clothes, they're gonna look good. And I think that's way more important than who made it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm definitely growing a lot, and it's exciting to see, and I'm really glad that I have a life that is so documented, because I can look back at who I was a year ago and I know exactly, you know, what I looked like. I don't have to think about it. I can look at it, and it's there, and a year ago, if I look at myself a year ago, I don't feel like I am that person. It looks like a different person. A lot of people do change this much, and I think a lot of people want to change this much even if they don't, or they can't, or they don't have the means. But as a trans experience, this is very common. And I've had a lot of help with dressing and choosing clothes from, honestly, from great people that work at clothing stores that make me feel comfortable. And I'm glad that I can have that experience as a trans person in Toronto, because I don't know if I would in other cities. You know what I mean? I love where I'm going with my fashion choices, and I hope I continue to just experiment and try cool things. Instagram user, late to the wake official. How long have your parents been married? So if you aren't sure why this person asked that, I post a lot of pictures with my parents on my Instagram whenever I see them, and they are adorable together. I think they've been married for 25 years, but they were together for 3 years, 2 or 3 years before that. So it's like approaching the 30-year mark, which is pretty crazy. And there is no doubt in my mind they're going to stay married until the day that they both are dead, because I don't know, they're just perfect. Which is kind of bad to say because nobody's perfect, but my parents are perfect. I'm just saying. And one more question. Instagram user Alice Lynn 1313. How do other trans women in particular treat you? I've noticed a lot of other trans women tend to be really rude and stuck up at times. Aren't we all supposed to support each other? So of course we absolutely are supposed to support each other. There are 2 particular things I want to say on this topic. Number 1 is not every trans person is going to have the same views or the same experiences. So there might be one trans girl and another trans girl, and one of them is super far right and is a white supremacist and all this stuff, and she's still trans, but there's no way that her and somebody like me are going to get along. It's just not going to happen. It's just not possible. So there are those situations where it's just not possible to support each other, okay? It's just not going to happen. And then there's situations where maybe somebody is bitter about the way you look or about your progress, and that is kind of a sad situation where I wish that they could be happy. I used to be like that though, to be honest. I used to feel that way. I used to see girls way further in the transition and be like, damn it, like that's not fair. You know what I mean? And I'm at a place now where I don't feel that way anymore, but I don't think that's unusual. So I don't think that's necessarily a problem either, and I don't think that has anything to do with the person who is being bittered at, but it is the person who is bitter. And I think that can fade with time and with progress. And then there's people that are just bitches. They're just mean because they can be. And those people, come on, do better. Do better. That is all of the questions I'm going to answer this time. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful questions. There were so many. I had to choose just a controlled amount because otherwise this video would be way too long, and it's already pretty long. So, you know, I'm sorry if you didn't get your question answered, but again, you can stalk my Instagram, and when I post asking for questions, maybe you can be in the next video. I just want to remind you guys I love you so much. Thank you for all of your wonderful support and your love, and I am just so excited for all of the cool things that are happening this year, and I have so many cool things to share with you that are coming up soon, and I just cannot wait, and I'm so happy you're on this journey with me. Until next time, just remember that you can be whoever you want to be. Or something. I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the questions this time were kind of about change and who we are as people and how we live and change in the years. I don't know. Okay, bye!